Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com.
Wall pictures. Moving, hanging, and removing wall pictures on Shabbos. Someone was walking near the wall and tilted the picture to the right or to the left, and you're sitting there seeing this tilted picture on the wall, and it's really eating away at you. You can't focus, you can't concentrate when you see a tilted picture. May I gently move it and center it back into place on Shabbos? Or if somebody knocked it off completely from the wall, can I replace it on Shabbos back onto the hook? Or if I have a picture which I would like to show someone, can I take the picture off the hook and show it to them? Or for example, if somebody has an Eishes Chayil picture with the words, can they remove it from the hook on Shabbos to read Eishes Chayil and then put it back on the hook on Shabbos? So the common consensus amongst people is that no, it is forbidden to move pictures on Shabbos. A picture hanging on the wall is in a no-touch zone until Shabbos is over. If it tilts out of place, you can't move it. And certainly you can't remove it or put it back on the hook. However, in truth, as we will discover through our journey in today's lesson, this is not fully accurate at all according to the final halacha. So let's begin. Whether moving a wall picture is allowed or not allowed on Shabbos grapples with the question of whether doing so transgresses A, the muktzah prohibition, and B, the building or destroying prohibition. Is a wall picture considered muktzah and therefore on the no-touch list till after Shabbos? And B, even if not, perhaps putting it back on the hook or taking it off the hook or putting it back into place would transgress the building or destroying prohibition, which states that it's forbidden to attach or detach anything from a wall on Shabbos. So we will begin with the first aspect, with the aspect of muktzah, and once that has been determined whether or not the picture is muktzah, we will then move on to whether or not placing it on the hook or moving it from the hook or nail transgresses any prohibition. So there exists a number of muktzah categories, one of them being called muktzah machmas chesron kis, which is actually the most severe muktzah category, as writes the Pri Megadim. This category includes all items that are expensive or that are sentimental value that people are careful with and don't want it to get damaged, and they are considered 100% muktzah on Shabbos. You cannot move it for any purpose. Based on this, some poskim say that wall pictures, especially if they are expensive, since you designate them a place on the wall and you don't want to move them and you don't want to do anything to them lest they become damaged, therefore they fall under the classical category of muktzah machmas chesron kis, and thereby moving pictures on Shabbos is forbidden. Even to simply center it back into place after the guy knocked into it would be forbidden according to their opinion. So can be implied from the Mishnah Berurah and a few different sources. So is the seeming ruling of the Chazon Ish, and so conclude a number of Peskin Malakti Dereinu that wall pictures, especially expensive wall pictures, are muktzah on Shabbos. However, not everyone agrees with this position. You see, some poskim explicitly write that in order for something to become muktzah under the category muktzah machmas chesron kis, it must first start off under the category of kli shemalachta le'isser, a vessel that's designated for a prohibited use on Shabbos, and only then it can be elevated to the higher category of chisaron kis if it's expensive and you're careful with it not to use it for anything else. But if the item is not designated for any prohibited use, then it can never enter into this category of muktzah or any category of muktzah, and thereby is not muktzah. So is the understood ruling of the Alter Rebbe in the Shulchanaruchharav in chapter 308 halacha 4, who explicitly categorizes the category of muktzah machmas chesron kis as an item that's designated for a forbidden use. And so is the understood ruling of the Tilul David, Teresh Shabbos, Kseis HaShulchan, the Igros Moshe, and others. According to this approach, there is no reason to consider wall pictures as muktzah, as they are not designated for any prohibited use, just to look at it and enjoy. Practically, according to those who follow the rulings of the Alter Rebbe, the Shulchanaruchharav, the picture is not deemed as muktzah, even if it's expensive. And even according to the first approach, which is stringent, it's only considered muktzah if it's an expensive picture that you're makbid not to move. And even in such a case, they agree that you can move it with a shinui with an irregularity, as all muktzah may be moved with a shinui, like your elbow. So according to all opinions, if the wall picture got tilted out of place, you can use your elbow to bang it, to center it back into place. And according to those who follow the Shulchanaruchharav, can do so even initially without a shinui. So now that we've clarified the muktzah aspect, let's move on to the aspect of removing it from the nail and putting it back on. So while doing so would seem to the novice to transgress the prohibition of building or destroying, as you're not allowed to attach things to walls on Shabbos, in truth, this only applies when one literally attaches an item to the wall. But to simply hang an item on something that's protruding from the wall does not touch any prohibition whatsoever. And thus we find in the Shulchanaruchharav in chapter 315 halacha 6 that it's permitted to hang decorative sheets on one's wall even permanently. And so rules the Magen Avraham Mishnah Berurah. And likewise in the next Sif 315.7 it states you're allowed to hang door curtains which separate within a doorway instead of a door, even if you hang it there permanently. You're not attaching it to anything, you're simply hanging it on a screw sticking out, or a nail, or a hook, and it's easily removed. Thus, to simply hang a picture on a nail does not transgress the building prohibition, and likewise to remove it from a nail does not transgress the destroying prohibition, and therefore there is no prohibition involved other than that which we already discussed regarding muktzah, in which case those who are stringent, like the first opinion, would have to remove it with a shinoi and replace it with a shinoi. If, however, this is the first time this picture is going up onto the nail, then even they would agree the picture isn't muktzah, and it may be put up on Shabbos. Although this is the final halacha, the Chazon Ish was stringent in this matter and ruled to suspect for a building and destroying prohibition even when you're simply hanging a matter on a nail, and those who follow the Chazon Ish are stringent on this issue. All the above allowance is only regarding hanging it on a hook or nail sticking out of the wall and removing it from it. However, to do anything more sophisticated and where there's attachment taking place, screwing taking place, in which the picture doesn't just hang on the nail but is actually attached to it, then that would be forbidden due to the building prohibition, and to remove it would be forbidden due to destroying prohibition. And it would not fall under the above mentioned heter and allowance of hanging, which is not defined as building. So practically, to summarize this entire issue, if a picture on the wall got tilted out of place and you would like to center it on Shabbos, according to everyone you can do so using your elbow, and according to those who follow the Alter Rebbe, you may do so even regularly with your hands. And if it's an inexpensive picture that you're not makbid on, according to everyone you can do so regularly with your hands. Now, to hang the picture on the nail on Shabbos, or to remove it from the nail on Shabbos, if it's not expensive, or if you're not stringent to consider it as muktzah, or if you do so with an irregularity, then it is permitted to put it on the nail on Shabbos and remove it from the nail on Shabbos, and doing so does not involve any prohibition, although some are machmir like the Chazon Ish not to do so. So you can take your Eishes Chayil wall picture off the wall, read Eishes Chayil, and put it back on the hook. Likewise, the Gabe in Shul may put up a Yalav V'Yaveh, a Mashiv Ruach sign, or take it down from a hook on Shabbos. However, if there's any fastening or screwing taking place, then this is forbidden to be done, as it is forbidden to attach the picture to the wall, and simply to hang it on a nail is what is allowed.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at Shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support our work.